So I do go to work in the most amazing place. Smith Memorial Playground and Playhouse was designed especially as a place for kids to play. When it opened to the public in 1899, it was intended to be a place apart from the hustle, bustle, crowds, pollution, factories of a very busy city. It was a special destination, a place where families would go together to enjoy the green rolling hills, the shady woods, and the fields of East Fairmount Park. Today, all of our work is inspired by our belief that children need to engage in unstructured creative play in order to grow up to be happy and healthy. On visits to Smith, kids jump, slide, bounce, and explore 6.5 acres outdoors. Inside, there's a 16,000 square foot mansion that is full of toys. There's a block room, play kitchens, dinosaurs, dump trucks, puppets. In addition to welcoming visitors, Smith staff develops programming to broaden our audience, to reach families who are facing challenges like poverty, homelessness, or domestic violence. Through our Play for All program, we develop partnerships with social service agencies to welcome families for play opportunities and to educate and advocate so that adults understand just how important play is for children. Smith's impact is extraordinary. When kids come for the first time, you can literally see them gasp with excitement. And when their adult tells them it's time to go home, they throw themselves on the floor, kicking and screaming, arms and legs flailing. Over the past century, Smith has welcomed over 10 million visitors. Last year, we had 220,000 visitors from 500 zip code areas. So we're attracting a lot of people. But what if Smith isn't as good for kids as I've just suggested? What if Smith is too safe? To help kids grow up healthy and happy, I believe that we must give them opportunities to be curious, to explore, to learn limits, to fall down, to skin a knee. Playgrounds could be the perfect incubator for this kind of exploration, but most of them aren't. I'm concerned that with all the best intentions, adults may not be providing enough opportunities for kids to take risks, to be curious, and to learn from that. I'm defining curious as the acceptance of not knowing and the joy associated with finding an answer. Curiosity is a process. It's not an end product. Adults are not always comfortable with processes. Generally, our clients or our supervisors expect us to know the answer. If we don't know the answer, we have to find out really fast. Are adults sufficiently inspiring curiosity in kids today? The trends don't look good. For example, the American Academy of Pediatrics says that kids are spending about 7 hours a day in front of a screen and only 30 minutes a week playing outside. Now, time in front of a screen might be learning, but it's something that disconnects kids from the outside world. This problem is not only happening in the US. The UK's Daily Mail newspaper did a study of 4 generations of a family. In 1919, the great-grandfather in the family was allowed to roam 6 miles away from his home. He went to a pond to go fishing. Now, in the early 21st century, the great-grandson in the family, and age 8, both of these comparisons are when the kids are 8, he's allowed to go to the end of his street. That's about 300 yards. The world is shrinking for kids today. And when parents do let their kids have freedom, they're vilified. A couple of years ago, a mom in New York let her son take the subway home alone. She was dubbed the worst mom in America all over newspaper pages. Just this summer, a mom was arrested because her child spent the day in a public park alone. And even when kids have more freedom, they don't have any time. Every spare moment of kids' lives are pretty much structured by someone else for them. After school hours with extracurricular activities, sports, or tutoring. In schools that prioritize standardized tests, which is to say pretty much every public school in our region, there is no opportunity to explore an interesting idea and maybe fail. There's the right fill-in bubble or the wrong fill-in bubble. Somewhat perversely, Just as we're limiting where kids can go and the risks they can take, we idealize people who were very, very curious and who took great risks. How will our kids grow up to be heroes if we don't allow them those same opportunities to take a risk and fail? Of course, the wish to protect children from risk is motivated by adults' best intentions, but it's had really disastrous consequences. Boston College psychology professor Peter Gray has noted that over the past 60 years, opportunities for kids to play freely and to govern their own time and to explore and to take risks has gone steadily down. At the same time, incidences of emotional health crises in children has gone up very dramatically. So what can we do about it? We can encourage risky play for kids. What does that mean? Peter Gray has 6 key identifiers. One is that kids like to go really high in things. They like to go fast. They like to play with dangerous tools. They like to explore dangerous elements. They like to roughhouse. And they like to get lost or disappear. Here's a great example of something I find really dangerous. It's a boring play structure. It encourages kids to use it in ways it wasn't intended, like jumping off from the top of it. This is an adventure playground in Germany. It looks terrifying if you're an adult in the room, but this kind of structure has many, many fewer incidences of injury or harm to children because kids have built it, they understand its limits, they can test it, take risks, and then they can learn from it. Kids in a structure playing in an environment like this know how to make decisions about safe limits. Now, I don't want to sound hypocritical. At Smith, the safety surface outside is very cushy. All of our play equipment meets state-of-the-art safety standards, and our operations manager is a certified playground safety inspector. So kids don't get hurt there very often, but how terrific that our Ann Newman giant wooden slide is very, very tall. We wax it regularly so it's very fast, and it makes kids scream. Look at this kid. She's going to be fine. She's going to be a fine adult. So what else can we do to encourage kids to take risks? Let them go outside. Give them sticks and raw materials to be creative with. Let them get dirty. Let them get a splinter. Best gift of all, let them get bored and then see what kind of a masterpiece they make. This fort in a backyard, this is magic. Some other folks are doing even more courageous things. This is a photo from The Land, which is an adventure playground in Wales. It was featured in the Atlantic magazine earlier this year, and it's going to be the subject of an upcoming documentary. The kids there take all these raw materials and build their space. They make fires there, all by themselves. This is the Anarchy Zone in Ithaca, New York, and the Adventure Playground in Berkeley, California. In Berkeley, this space has been around for 35 years. So these are really great examples of what can happen when communities trust children, when they give them raw materials, and when they understand that exploring curiosity and taking risks is really, really important. At Smith, we've tried to take a small step in this direction. Last year, we partnered with the organization Public Workshop, and we invited kids from all over the city to come. We asked them to imagine if they had a submarine, and we actually built one out of recycled cardboard, where would they go? So they created an imaginary topography, and they created their own space, their own land. They used saws, they used drills, nobody got hurt. And the space is designed to be a platform where everyone is inspired by their curiosity and their imagination to use it as a jumping off part for play. So please, everybody, for every kid that you meet, inspire their curiosity by getting out of their way. Let them take risks, let them explore, and let them grow. Their future and all of our futures depend upon it. Thank you.